Counselors Craft a Curious Path with Ruby and Olivia.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ruby Miller, a multidisciplinary artist, singer-songwriter, therapist, and wisdom seeker with a background in opera, ceramics, and photography.
And I'm Olivia Candosia. I'm an actor, theater director, voiceover artist, early childhood educator, and drama therapist. We are both neurodiverse therapists who strive to infuse more wonder, authenticity, and joy into modern life. We're here to share our hearts and stories, and in turn, listen to yours. Here we gather with you to craft the curious path of life, therapy, and art. Welcome and co-create with us.
Hello, welcome Olivia.
Hi, Caitlin. Welcome everybody to Counselors Craft a Curious Path.
Woo! Today we decided to frame the episode around like a specific situation in one of our lives and choose like a tarot card based off of that. So a thing I was thinking about for Olivia is I feel like the Tower tarot card, which is number 16 in the Major Arcana, which has some of the most like archetypal power in the deck, is the Major Arcana. That symbolizes a lot of what Olivia is going through right now. So we're gonna have her play the Tower in her, and I'll start with defining the card, and then it'll become obvious how we're connecting it to Olivia's life.
Yep, let's do it.
Sounds good, friend. Okay, so this is the traditional imagery behind the Tower card. It is a tower that is falling apart with people jumping off of it. So I'm gonna hold it up while more like being pushed.
I told Caitlin I have no idea what she's talking about and how this card's related to me, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're going for it. Okay, the Tower card depicts a high, and this is by Labyrinthos, which is a great free resource online. The Tower card depicts a high spire nestled on top of the mountain. A lightning bolt strikes the tower, which sets it ablaze. Flames are bursting in the windows, and people are jumping out of the windows as an act of desperation. They perhaps signal the same figures we see chained in the Devil card earlier. They want to escape the turmoil and destruction within. The tower is a symbol for the ambition that is constructed on faulty premises. The destruction of the tower must happen in order to clear out the old ways and welcome something new. Its revelations can come in a flash of truth or inspiration. The tower represents change in the most radical and momentous sense. This is how I'm referring it to your life, Olivia. It is for this reason that the card itself visually looks so unnerving, but it doesn't necessarily have to be truly frightening or ominous, because at the heart of this card, its message is foundational, groundbreaking change. The kind of event that the Tower card marks does not have to be something terrible like a disaster or a great loss. Change itself is a normal part of life that one has to embrace. But it can sometimes strike fear, for if it means that we must abandon the truths that we have known prior to this event. The old ways are no longer useful, and you must find another set of beliefs, values, and processes to take their place. Be positive. It is time for you to replace the old foundations of the past with something that is more genuine and will serve you better in what is to come. In terms of work, there is an inevitable argument bound to happen. You need to be in control and keep your temper in check. Avoid saying something that may hurt other people. When it comes to your love life, your romantic relationship may be nearing its end. Take this as a warning. If you really value your relationship, then it's time for you to take damage control or open a communication to clear misunderstandings. If it's your finances, the Tower meaning refers to the need to be assured on your transactions. So, often like when the Tower will come up in a traditional tarot reading, this is Caitlin talking now, the people get like afraid because it can be really scary to see. But sort of the way I interpret it is like something is falling apart in your life in the process of decay, and that there's something about like accepting that the thing is just fundamentally changing and it's going to be gone. And then the Tower can actually be like a joyful release of what you're walking away from. So like the way I would relate the Tower card to your life, Olivia, is a lot of what's happening in the Tower card for you in your life, you actually chose. You were like, I need big change. I'm going to initiate it. Not that you like all of it's been pleasurable or enjoyable, but I think for people who are resisting change and the Tower card comes up, they become like very afraid and they're like, I don't want this thing that I feel like is inevitable that's gonna happen, but like I don't want this. So I would be curious to speak to this agent of like essentially a bomb, like a lightning bolt. Talk to this agent in you and see what it has to say.
The agent being the person who made this choice, the person who has been building the tower.
I'm thinking the Tower card in you as like a part. I imagine it being like a character we could talk to, and that it's like a character that is essentially so confident in the need for change to occur that it's like holding that truth within itself, which I have assumptions about that, like people might be afraid of a person like that, but I also don't know how it's going to come up for you. Do you want me to try to give you an example of what the Tower might look like in me?
No, it's okay. I'm going to try it.
Okay, cool.
We will see.
So, Tower and Olivia, how are you showing up in her life right now?
I'm so present right now. I am so present. Almost every aspect of her life, I'm there. I am there.
Even her wonderful neighbor.
Even her wonderful neighbor who's moving away. She's getting rid of her cat soon. She's transitioning into this big career. She's ending relationships, bringing in other relationships that have existed in her life, but in new ways. Yeah, I'm everywhere. And I think for a while, Olivia was trying to dress me up in different ways to be like, no, it's fine. Like, changing me, the person who's all for change, but not in the way that was helpful for her. Or,
what do you mean changing you? Tell me more.
She didn't want to look at what change actually looks like. She wanted to, I don't know how to explain it. She was in denial that this change actually had to happen for a while. And so...
Oh, I have an idea. I'm thinking of how I know of Olivia as like a colleague and a friend, is that there was sort of this like passive acknowledgement of a lot of stuff in my life is probably going to change the summer of 2025. Like a lot. And I know that.
Yes.
And talking about it as though like, oh, it's just a thing that I know and it's going to happen and I'm strong enough to just like handle it. And then you're coming in with like the actual emotional implications of, so is that the dressing up?
I don't quite know what I meant by that, and I would like to erase that. I would like to change that I said that.
Why? Because you don't know, to me, if you don't know what you meant, it's like a trailhead to figure out what more do you mean.
Perhaps it was that, like, she had this knowledge of it, but it was nothing more than just, things will change. And she was dressing herself up, rather, in a way that was like, it's fine, like, yes, life happens, change happens, whatever. But then when I finally actually showed up, I was like, kaboom! And she was like, excuse me, like, I know I literally spoke this into existence, but excuse me, like, look at this mess now.
Wow. Do you have anything, now that Olivia's giving you a chance to speak, is there anything you wish to say to her?
Oh, it's quite exciting. She was so mad at me last week. She was like, oh my God, really? And I think now she's a little bit liberated. I think some things she has taken off her shoulders, some responsibilities, some weights, day by day, and I get to look at those and be with her and be like, you're ready. You can do this. You have space for this now. And that's been really exciting to watch her kind of be like, yeah, I can do this, even if it is terrifying.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're helping her shed responsibilities that she was still enacting even amongst all the change for her to make space for the things that she wants? Or can you say more?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm even helping her do it, but something's happening where, like, she sees me, and then she goes, okay, if I want any of this change to continue and for me, Olivia, to grow, I have to check some stuff off my list to give space for the change to happen. So maybe that's, like, doing her dishes. Maybe that's applying for her licensure. Maybe that's talking with somebody. She's doing these things, and thus there's space for me to be like, you're ready. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah, No, I don't think it does, actually. I think I was...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you say more? I'm not even sure what to ask.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. She has a lot going on in her life. A lot of things are changing, right? Mm-hmm. But the big change, which is me, which is almost undefinable, what that is.
Yeah, that's part of the Tower card scaring people in readings. Is like, what? All I see is destruction here.
So I think what I'm doing, maybe this is a more helpful way to explain it, is I'm helping her make small changes in order to look at this ambiguous change that is happening. She's making small changes in her life.
Oh, so maybe she's getting the sense that everything is changing, and it is, but that you're trying to, like, ease her into the transition of major change by being like, well, you could make this small change today. It's not like your whole life has to change. It's like
the explosion, boom, happened. There's debris everywhere, and I'm just encouraging her to pick up a piece.
Oh, that's great.
Or even just look at a piece. Not all of it. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to look at all of it. And for a while, she was looking at the whole thing of me being like, what the fuck? And now it's like, no, girl, you can just look at this little crumbled up piece of paper.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud of her because I am scary and big and confusing. But also liberating.
Wow. I'm picturing a whole city getting toppled. And just burning.
Yes, she has been screaming at me a bit, though, saying, now this is very kind of sad to say, but she has been a little angry at the pain and confusion I have caused her, and she is so afraid of me sometimes that she talks about not wanting to bring another life into this world because she does not want someone to feel the weight of the change that I'm bringing into her life, and to put that on another person really scares her. And that's been something that's popped up the past week, which is an interesting conversation.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not that she's planning on doing that anytime soon, but...
Can you say exactly what the conversation is between you and Olivia in those moments?
Yeah, she says, I don't want anyone to ever have to go through this. I hate that people have to go through this. How dare you? And I say, this is part of life. Imagine if this wasn't. What would that be like?
Wow. What does she say back to that?
Ugh. Ugh, fine. She says, ugh, fine. But also still, I think she's walking around in, like, protective gear still. Even if there's, like, a little bit of liberation happening, she's still very, like, and afraid.
Okay, I'm gonna play Olivia, and then you can continue to be the tower. Why do you keep doing this to me? I don't need more destruction.
Am I doing it to you?
Yes. You are the problem.
You chose this.
I felt like I had to.
You felt like you had to.
What other choice was there?
What's wrong with change?
It feels this awful. I know, like, intellectually, it's necessary. I know that I want it, but the depth of pain and disorientation and the depth of the destruction I have felt is just... You can't live in a war zone.
Not forever, no. But I'm so proud of you for walking through that.
Why?
For walking through that. So many people are so afraid and don't do anything. You are going through the mush and sharing that mush and messiness with people. That is such a gift that you have. It sucks, I know. Trust me, I don't like living in this, but this is my job. But we get to share it and show people you can make it through.
That definitely feels like it brings more meaning to the process.
Does meaning help you? Giving things meaning?
Yeah, knowing that if I process my pain and really face it and share it with friends, family, the internet, clients, all these places that, like, I know there are people out there who are afraid to face their pain in ways that I'm doing my best to face, and I'm also afraid of it too. Like, we're afraid of it for a reason.
And I see you still hiding it, some of it. I see you making things and then not sharing them still. That's okay.
Yeah, I recently had someone kind of tear me down on social media, and I know that, like, it shouldn't have got to me as much as it did, but also screw that person, like, fuck that person. They were off, like, I can't always, like, I can model authenticity only so far on the internet. Like, in my relationships, yes, rupture and repair, yes, all good. But, like, on the internet, yeah, I don't like the haters, and I mean, do you want me to share more, or why are you bringing this up?
No, I'm just pointing out that, like, even though you are sharing, there are still parts that you're hiding away.
Oh,
I'm not saying anything is bad or good. You've got enough change going on that it's even figuring out how to interact with a social media world is a kind of change and development for you.
Do you have any, like, things to say about that I'm still keeping some things to myself and, like...
I think... No, I think I'm just proud of you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do any of this. You can make a choice. You can make a new choice, but you're sticking through it and making new choices in ways that are difficult but helping you, and sometimes protecting you if you know you can't go that deep right now, and that's okay, and I'm proud of you, and thank you for letting me make a mess. I know you always preach about making a mess, and I know once it's actually there, it's different. So I thank you for finally actually welcoming me. I've been screaming at you for years, girl.
Yeah, there's something about saying, let's get messy, and I like to get messy, and then being like, I am messy right now, and here it is. Yeah. Like, the mess is happening now, and I am showing other people the mess.
Yeah. That's authenticity.
Yeah. I'm thinking about how if a city gets destroyed by a bomb, there's probably considerable smoke and fire and low visibility, and so this idea of you helping me through each like piece of rubble and piece of rebuilding or consideration, and that like there the fog is like over things, and so sticking with this like little thing to start with and another thing until the fog starts to lift and I'm able to see more, and that there's something really comforting in that, but only with the premise that everything has been destroyed, period. Like, we're done. We're done with, like, these structures are rubble now, so
these
I'm not...
structures were not stable to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that's what I was saying, is she was pretending that they were. She was pretending, the structure was fine and good, and putting a different brick on to be like, no, see, look, it looks good. When in reality, I've always been, like, with a little bomb, a little grenade or something, being like, no, let go of this.
Yeah.
Destroy this.
Yeah.
And also, now that everything...
I feel proud of myself for having the courage to finally be like, this is the house of cards.
Yes.
I'm not willing to live in this house.
I'm so happy to hear that. And also that, like, we can just sit down in the rubble together and look at the smoke and just watch it kind of drift away for a bit, too. We don't have to do anything. There is no rush. We have been building this tower for a very long time. Or you have been. And I am like...
Yeah.
We can wait. It's okay. It's already destroyed now. So, there's no rush in repairing.
I'm thinking about also, like, the space between destruction and rebuilding. I need a chance to dream and believe and, like, meditate and just be with myself. But I feel like I'm glad you're encouraging me to pause, because I feel like if I were to just say, okay, Olivia, it's time to rebuild. We're rebuilding now. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. It's going to be big. It's going to be amazing.
You've been trying. You've been trying.
Yeah.
It's not...
that doing that immediately, like, if I'm an architect, how likely am I to make a very similar house that we just had to bomb?
Right.
Like, and how... Because my impulses are still to make... to live in a house of cards.
Yeah. Now you have to make a new knowing. You have to learn new things, see new things in a different way.
Yes. I want, like, bricks and a deep basement that's, like, cool and sensory, lovely. Like, if it's a really hot day, you climb, like, deep into the earth and you just let the earth hold you. And then if it's, like, a day where you want the light, it is a tower and you can climb up 4 stories and you see, like, like, the whole, like, I want a building that holds all of that. A playful building as well.
A playful building.
Yes, a building filled with play. Wow. Are you feeling called to go anywhere with this roleplay?
I don't think so. Olivia, feel very content right now. I feel stepping out of the role, just like that pride that you were speaking of, that the tower was speaking of.
So now the roleplay is
the roleplay is,
and we're going to... Okay, all right, back to Caitlin and Olivia.
Yes. I don't know, there was kind of like a sense of peace in that conversation. And a permission to pause and to hear it from somebody that isn't literally me but somebody else was actually really helpful to me, to be like, yeah, it's okay, you can pause, it's already fallen apart, like what else is gonna happen? It's already broken.
I was thinking about burnout too for people, and when everything feels like it's fallen apart, like the first step is not to rebuild, it's to rest and to pause. And so that idea of like, girl, you don't need to rebuild right now. Yeah. You don't need to have the answers.
I have been so like, okay, I've talked about it. Like, I'm putting my work belt back on. I'm hammering. We're fixing. Like, I just want to rebuild so quickly. And I keep not acknowledging the how long of this. I've been using the metaphor of a marathon with my supervisor. How long this marathon is that I've been running. How long I've been constructing this tower. It's long. 3 weeks is not 4 weeks. It's not. You're not going to be able to make it look anything like what you want it to be yet. Like,
I am also thinking about like giving yourself, Olivia, a chance to see how you act and how you feel when you're out of a relationship and see like what comes of that, because it might surprise you. I mean, relationships take up so much time and effort and energy in our lives, for better or for worse, and just to see like what if these other parts of you get a chance to exist, like you might be acting totally differently in 6 weeks from now.
Yeah, there is a weird sense of freedom. I'm sure we've talked about it before. There are things that I do that I think there are things that I'm doing now that I think, what would my thoughts be if I was still in my relationship? I probably wouldn't be doing these things. I feel more at peace, even though it is anxiety inducing, the change, and it's confusing. There is a sense of peace and like freedom of being whatever I want to be, not in favor of anybody but myself and my well-being. And I think it's okay.
Go ahead.
I think I'm just like really seeing what my values are and what's important to me, and how strong those have always been, but to have it just be me and be like, no, I want this is what I want to laugh at things like this, I want to be in community like this, I want to do activities like this, I want that is a non-negotiable for me. Like, these are things that I'm passionate about, and I don't need another person to do it with. It'd be great, but I don't need that. I can do it on my own right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, for people who have experienced relationships that can feel stifling, like that realization once you're out of it of how many behavior changes you were making that you might not even be conscious of, that were sacrifices in service of so many, and it makes me like, I'm trying to be kind to myself about it, but I have been really angry too, of just like, how did I let myself get there? But you also have to acknowledge, like, you didn't stay because you were an idiot. Like, there were so many wonderful things. It was helpful in so many ways. And now it's just not helpful. And that's okay. Now Caitlin's phone keeps falling or something. Her iPad keeps falling. And iPad that I'm using to do this. Yeah, sorry. This should be better now. Can you see my full face?
I can.
Okay. And I'm thinking there's a gray area to that too. Like, when you enter another relationship, there might be some overlap and change in your behaviors, like back to what it was before. But like, so just the trusting the transition process, that anything might come out of it and then anything else might emerge, but that like you can trust your intuition that you made the right choice and that you're building towards something that's more joyful and sustainable.
I want to acknowledge, like, we've talked about this with our supervisor before, that like people talk about being people pleasers and things, but that is like a natural human instinct, because that is how we have survived, is like to be liked and to be wanted. Like, that is literally, like, survival speaking, we did that. And so it's nothing to feel shame about. It's just when the other part of yourself starts getting denied, it's something to take a closer look at and think, okay, where am I? Like, where am I? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think something needs to be a mistake to want to do it differently next time or to be even different now. So I heard that in the role play, and now from you of like the parts that are enjoyable of now transitioning out of the relationship, to not equate that with judging what you did before as like bad or you shouldn't have done it. I don't know if that makes sense.
I wasn't following, really. It didn't make sense.
Like, if it's... I'm trying to think of it... okay, so someone I know who recently got out of a relationship, their partner had a much, like, later circadian rhythm than they did, and so they would force themselves to stay up. And they were doing it to try to spend time with their partner, and now that they broke up with that partner, they have, like... they're getting much better, like, natural sleep. That doesn't mean that they did something wrong to sacrifice their sleep, and also their future partner might also have a delayed circadian rhythm, so that it's, like, more of, like, morally, neutrally noticing changes in behavior, and that it's not about, oh, that means I made a bunch of mistakes or something.
And change is not bad. Like,
no.
we can change ourselves for people. We do change. I change myself for you. I change myself, like, not, like, completely, but we change ourselves. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I was thinking for listeners, I'm trying to give, like, takeaways from episodes. I think right now the tower is happening in the United States, so even if people don't identify with having, for United States listeners, like, even if you don't identify with having any tower in your, like, personal life, professional life, family life, physical health, mental health, whatever it is, there's definitely a society-wide tower card going on right now. And so tapping into that energy and being like, so where is the tower happening in my life right now? And then I think one of the things that I really liked about the role play with Olivia was, if one of the assumptions of the tower is there's so much fog and dust you can't see more than, let's say, a block from you, like, what does looking at anywhere from a block to, like, right up to your body, what does that look like? What does focusing on something smaller and slowing down and, like, accepting that there's only so much we can see, and, like, how does that metaphor play out in your life, and what might that look like? And also with the tower metaphor for listeners, that was another theme in this podcast, like, how can you shift from what do I want now, what am I grateful for now, what might I want in the future, as, like, generative questions to move forward versus, oh, I shouldn't have done that, maybe it wouldn't have been that bad, or I shouldn't have, like, looking at the back and saying, at the past and saying should, and, like, beating yourself up. So I feel like those are a couple ways to sort of frame the tower card, and I've been doing this lately. I've been dialoguing with parts in a journal, and it's been really helpful. I've been, like, putting, like, low lights down, dialoguing with the part, having some nice music on, and just seeing what comes up. So you can literally say, if my name is, like, Jessica, okay, Jessica, what are you saying to the tower? Tower, you are disgusting. And then you just say, tower, you're disgusting, enter. The tower says, wow, that kind of hurts to hear, but also I understand. And then you just go back and forth and see what comes of that. Because I've been finding that a really interesting way to kind of tap into some deeper wisdom. Like, I recently did it with the moth in me,
which she will be sharing.
Yeah, and then I'm also doing it with, like, the octopus in me, and that's been really interesting, and just pages and pages of dialogue just coming out so quickly.
The other day, I didn't do it with parts, but I've been thinking in a lot of metaphors lately. Something has been opened up in me through just, like, these discussions in my own personal therapy, where I just am thinking so artistically. And so the other day before work, I went to a cafe, and the internet wasn't working, so I just had to put the notes app on my computer, and I just did stream of consciousness, and it was almost like I was talking to my metaphors. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
had my metaphor, and then I was like, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. And it was just so nice. And there were some mean things I wrote on there, but so nice to give it a place to go to. I haven't even reread it yet. I don't know if I will. Maybe I'll read it tonight in therapy. Who knows? But it just felt so to get it out of the body.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Carl Jung's Red Book, which is essentially him talking to his parts. And then also, I'm reading James Hillman, who is one of the people that studied Jung extensively and then kind of did his own thing. And he started a psychology called archetypal psychology, and he talks about polytheism in the psyche. And so, if there are a bunch of gods that we worship, similar to, there's a river god and a tree god and a grass god and a grasshopper god, that's what it reminds me of, and, what I'm talking about with journaling, and you too, we're just talking to all these different things, and we're such a multiplicity, and there's no, one answer of who the self is. So that's also kind of another way to think about it and give yourself permission to play. And then if, you're doing a dialogue with something and it starts to scare you too much or makes you overwhelmed or whatever, you can walk away. Just close your computer, close the book. It's fine. You don't have to, push yourself, but just see what comes out. Because for me, even the things that come out that can scare me, I actually feel a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Yes.
So there's
Because
a catharsis.
It's so scary to think a mean, bad, negative thought, but when you put it on the paper, it's oh, okay. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't, it's not so attached. You can look at it with a different set of eyes, and approach it with so much more empathy.
Yeah, you're giving it enough space to exist and then have less power.
It's in drama therapy we call those projective activities. So that would be puppets talking to the puppet, talking to I mean, in a sense talking to parts, but yeah, anything where you're projecting it elsewhere, projective activity.
Yes. Yeah. You're giving the image some space to be an image.
Distance is so important if we're not ready to go inward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think there also is something to going inward is projection and distance, and what's the... Yeah.
There's a lot there. Yes.
Well, I have to transition to going to a session, but it was so good to be with you, Olivia.
It's good to be with you, too.
Yeah.
So thanks,
Olivia and I are therapists at Effective Artistry, which is a group practice in Northbrook, Illinois. We practice neurodiversity affirming therapy. Olivia is taking new clients, individual, couples, families. We do a tarot group together that we're launching. If you're interested, you're welcome to reach out, and we'd be happy to work with you.
Yeah, thanks, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.